Hello guy, this time I was sharing how you can create user account in Linux operating system. Okay, there is a two similar command. One is the add user, another one is the user add. But I want to share this time is the add user command. Because of that, it's quite easy to create the account and you don't need to set any uh custom configuration, right? They will reference the default configuration file and everything they will create for you. They will set the password, they will set the home directory, they will set the group ID, everything. You don't need to manually do it, just they will set for you automatically. Okay, this is quite easy. The command is add user. Okay, and then you will create the user, testing user. Okay, at this time I will using testing or adding user. Okay, I just for fun, you can type your name or you can create any account. Okay, just this time I want to know you that this account using for adding user. Okay, so I will type add user. So what is the problem is that when you creating the new user command, right, you are currently using account must have the root privilege. Okay, or maybe you have to use the root account to create the account, or maybe your account has the root privilege to create the account. So that is a two options. So that my account is already have the root privilege sudo. Okay, so that I will need to use the sudo and then add user, adding username is the adding user. Okay, so I just create sudo privilege to enter it. Oh, okay, so this time I can manage to create the account because of previously I didn't add the sudo. And then what is the sudo command, I will share it later video. So currently we have to use the sudo privilege to create the command. And then user ID is there is a two, right, new user group and then user ID, both are using 1003. So how this IDs get when you create the account, right, I will share it to you. And then your home directory slash home adding user is the your directory name. Okay, everything where you got it, later I will share the create. This time I will need to set the password. Let me see whether you will skip the password, we can proceed or not. Okay, just enter. No, it's not allowed, you have to set the password. If you not set the password, you cannot proceed, just cancel your operation. Okay, so we have to set the password. I set the simple password. Okay, so the password is successfully updated. Okay, the password is updated successfully, so that you have successfully set the password. So this time you have to type full name. So I don't want to type anything, just enter. For you can type any full name, room number, work phone, home phone, others. Okay, everything's done, you have to say yes. Then so the account is successfully created, but you don't even know whether the account is inside the Linux operating system or not. Okay, we have to check it. So let me clear the screen, and then you have to check inside the etc psswd. This is a user account information file. Okay, this account user file, you can check whether you have created account is already there or not. Just enter. Okay, we got it. Add user. Okay, we're using the 1003 user ID and group ID number, and then your home directory. Okay, and then your default share is the bin bash. What is the default share? So there is a multi-bash shell you can choose to use in the Linux operating system, but this add user command is using the bin bash shell to create the account for you. And then when you log into the system with that account, right, that the default share is the bin bash. Okay, where you get is all this information. Let's see, there is another configuration file, etc add user.conf. So that finds all the default configurations are previously set for you when you're using the add user command. So the first thing is the default shell. The default shell is the bin bash, so that you can shell any other the cs, ks, so many shell inside the Linux operating system, you can use it. Okay, this is the default shell, so I don't want to change anything. I want to use the say a default configuration after you install the operating system. Okay, so your home directory slash home. Okay, so another thing is the user ID and group ID. So this is user ID start from 1000, and then group ID start from 1000, sorry. So that when you start create the user, they will start from 101, 102, 102. So currently we used 1003, right? So that this is the you created the that user. Okay, so that this configurations file all the default file, so that you can reference from here, or you want to change, you can play, okay, what you want. So this I will not change any default config. I just want to share how you can check the default configurations. Okay, so let me clear the file. This is a, remember again as this is a default configuration file .conf. Okay, another thing you can check, like previously we had a /etc psswd inside the user information. Another comment you can use get ent psswd. Also you can check whether your created account is already there or not, or maybe you can check all the user account inside the Linux operating system. Okay, so this is the current or username we have recently created. Okay, so this is only the user account information. You want to share, there is another important file /etc shadow. That is a quite important file, because of that one is saving your password with the encrypted format. So this one also you need the root privilege to check the file. So you have typed the sudo enter, so that this user also you can see that, you know, adding user, and then this is your password information. Later I will share how we can decrypt to, you know the password fine. Okay, I will create a lot of video for you how you can do everything inside the Linux operating system and how to hack the system. Okay, but this is a shadow file, is quite important, so that everybody should not know your encrypted information, so that they can easy to decrypt the password. Okay, then this one is all about how to add user inside the Linux operating system, but you have to remember, let me refresh your memory again. The account is the command line is add user space username, any username you can type. Okay, this is the add user command, and then after you created, you have to know the /etc psswd. Okay, or you have to use get ent command psswd. Okay, you can check the user just recently created account are already added or not, or then you can check all the user account inside the Linux operating system. Okay, another thing is the etc shadow. Okay, this is easy shadow is where all the username and password information are stored inside this file. Okay, so the before you create the account, right, what is the default configuration file is a /etc user add. So this is the default configuration file. Oh, sorry, something wrong. Oh, sorry, add user. This two is very confused. Add user. Okay, so this is the default configuration file. You can check what is the default share, what is the default home directory by user ID, group ID, everything you can check from here. So this time that's all. I think you can practice yourself. You practice all the other switches, and then you can use the main page add user, so that you can read about it, how do you can create the user. Okay, everything you can read about it, but you don't need to remember everything. Okay, just you know how to create the user, how to check root ID, user ID, where is the password information, find what is the user information store. So all this user, you know, right? You don't need to remember everything. Another thing is you have to remember just adding user or user add, what is the shell, what is the group ID, what is the user ID. So all this you have to remember. Okay, that's all guys. Bye bye.